Okay, welcome to the Trading Buddy Futures and Forex forecast for the week of November the 20th. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Kevin. I'm glad to be discussing the markets with you. I hope this week went well for you. Just a quick review. We'll do a review of how the last week went and then what I think the markets may do for next week, what I'm preparing for at least. And remember what you should be doing with your own trading. It's not a signals or anything. It's just, this is the way that I look at the market. This is the way that, I trade. These are the markets that I like to trade. So hopefully they can give you some ideas of what you can be looking for as well. Now, if you have any specific markets you want me to look at, be sure to put it in the comments or send me an email. But let's get started with the all-important stock futures, the ES. I was expecting a little bit of a pullback right in here at the beginning of the week. We got a little bit of it, even with the advanced decline line not very strong. And then Tuesday we got the CPI numbers and had a massive day. And so the market is making these new areas. It's a new place. So I don't expect it to come back down to that 43.50 area anymore. Possibly back down to the 44.50 area is a possibility for the beginning of next week that I'm watching for. But there is a huge seasonal trade here around the Thanksgiving holiday with retails and Black Friday and everything. So I am looking for this market to continue onwards and upwards. You can see the price open interest volume. The open interest and the volume is farther along than price. And so that is a good thing. This green line is above where it was over here, and price hasn't gotten there yet. So it acts very similarly to what the advanced decline line does. The advanced decline line is catching up, and so I don't unless there's a big massive move to the downside and this advanced decline line breaking this low, I don't expect the prices to come all the way back down. I think we're just seeing the start of this bull market. Anyway, so I'm going to be looking for pullbacks. If not, by Tuesday, if it doesn't have that pullback, I'll be looking to buy for the over the weekend trade over the Thanksgiving holiday and hold on to that. So that's something I'm going to be looking for next week in the stock futures. The precious metals, we got that move back down to the 2200, 2220 area that I was looking for. Really, really nice of the market to kind of come back down to that level. Now I missed it a little bit. I was able to capture after it had this big move on the CPI day. I captured a little bit more back up to these highs. I thought it might come down. It's broken a little bit and testing back down today. So what's the plan going forward next week? Well, I'm expecting it to come back down just a little bit more. Again, maybe back down to the 2350, 2320 area, back into these levels. But I would expect more dollar weakness and maybe some chop around here into the November, December area. I would not be surprised if we saw these 25 levels here. I don't know if it'll happen next week, but maybe into December to see higher levels in the silver market. But I'm going to be just playing it safe next week. I'm going to be focusing my attention on the stock futures, but I will be looking for pullbacks to go long in. Our prediction with the gold market was pretty good as well. A couple weeks I've been saying, hey, we should be coming back down to this 1950, 1940 area, and then wait for bullish signals, and that's exactly what we got. We got this trend line down, lower lows, lower highs. It stopped around this 1930 area, this consolidation right here, and then Kapow gave us a 3-bar reversal, and it's made a move back to the 2000 area. So that was caught a little bit of that. Again, I wasn't paying attention. I was waiting a couple more days to see if we get that 3-bar reversal and that CPI those CPI numbers on Tuesday kind of surprised me. I was expecting a little bit more of a pullback from those numbers than it gave. But that's the way the markets go. The prediction was pretty good, but the execution wasn't. I still think that you can see with the price open interest volume with this market, it isn't coming up as high, and so I'm still not convinced we're going to see newer highs in gold. But I think we might get back up to these resistance levels, 2020, and then come back down into here. So that's going to be my plan. I can wait for the precious metals. I can focus on the stocks for next week. Crude oil made an attempt to get back up to that 80 level that we were expecting. Very, very close. It got up to 79.65. So it got 35 cents away from the level that I was targeting. So I missed my target. Was able to take a little bit of profit, not as much as I had hoped before it made this smash down. And I bought a little bit down here, but I thought that we might see it come down a little bit more today on Friday. But Friday, it made a massive move back to the upside as well. So this week, crude oil, I didn't make a ton, but luckily I didn't lose any. I was trading to that 80, and that would have been a nice trade, but it came down and stopped out my trailing stop. So just missed that target by about 35 cents. And again, that's how trading works out for us. For next week, I'm going to be trading light on crude oil again, focus on the stocks. But if it comes back up to Thursday's high, then we'll probably maybe test that 80 level and come back into this range. I can see that happening. But I would also warn for the shorts to come back down to the 72 area. If it comes down to the 72, 71, 70, those areas I'm going to be looking for buy signals again, back to the upside towards the end of the year into the beginning of the year. Crude oil and heating oil usually have really good bullishness at the beginning of the new year. So I'm expecting more weakness into December before the next move up, but we'll keep an eye on that for the future. Same thing for natural gas. I'm just on hold on this one. This one has made lower lows again, and that I wasn't expecting. And I've just been watching this market this week. I haven't traded anything, so I'm basically going to wait and see if it could go lower, but wait for a nice trend line break, maybe a formation of a higher low, and see if we can go long this market. Again, probably not going to be too anxious or urgent about this one until the beginning of the year. But along with heating oil and crude oil, again, it's not, you can see the price open interest volume is not following it. So I'm not convinced that this break of the lows is a big move down. So we'll probably see more chop here in the next month and a half. But I'm not going to be trading natural gas as much as I have been in recent months. I'm still long the grain markets, particularly corn and wheat. I was stopped out of my position on soybeans with a small profit with these moves down the last couple of days. So what I'm going to be doing is waiting again for another formation of kind of an apex candle and then a 3-bar reversal back to the upside, or oversold this in the Williams %R for the soybeans, and get back long into soybeans. I'm still long-term long on the grains. So here's wheat as well. Wheat is still not stopped me out, but it is very close again to stopping me out. This wheat market's been driving me insane the last few months, as you probably might expect if you've been watching. But I am still bullish the wheat, the corn, and soybean markets because of the commercials buying, and a lot of that you can see on the Commitment to Trader report every week on the CFTC website. Also, because of just the conditions of the world right now, with lack of food, and prices should be going up. So that's just the nature of supply and demand. So that's something I've been waiting for. And again, it could take another month or two, and maybe even 6 months. So we'll just keep on trading and trading light, not putting all of our eggs in one basket. And so that's the best way to trade, and make sure that we're not losing when we get everything when we get stopped out. And we have been stopped out a couple times on this wheat trade, but we're gonna keep trying from the long side. Another market that I like to trade that for some reason I haven't really touched on in my forecast, I have here and there, but the last couple of weeks I've been trading bonds, and I'm like, why did I forget to bring it up in the forecast? Because this has been a great trade. And the reason why I was going long is I traded an ADX strategy that you can see on the Forex charts that I have. And in this particular one, let me just pull it up and see if we can find the bonds here. Daily, here we go. Okay, so you can see this this ADX and stochastic. Stochastic was really low down in here, and ADX was above the 40, and so that's kind of our signal to look for a possible reversal in this market. So I was looking for, let's go back to the daily chart here. I was looking for a break of this trend, and a formation of a lower high, and we got that. And so I went long around this 112 area, captured a nice trade right there to those highs, and I'm long again. And so I'm long around that 114 level, and I'm going to be looking for the 118 to 120 levels right in here for the bond market to possibly get up here in the next week and a half or so, probably till the end of the month, and then we'll take off those trades. But this was a trade that I was looking to go long, and we got those signals a couple weeks ago, and it's been really fun making some money on the bond market. And with the dollar, US dollar again, coming down a little bit, that causes the yields to go down, which means the prices go up. So with the bond prices, that is. So that's been a great one. So keep an eye on this market to get up into that 120. We're still in a range where you can make money. I would say Monday, if you're not in this market, wait for a break of Friday's high, excuse me, and then trade to that 119, 120 area. That's going to be my target for that, and I'm just going to trail up the stop. So if it has a big down day, we won't lose any money. So that's it for the commodities. Let's go over to our Forex markets. Okay, as you know, I've been watching the dollar yen. I look at just these major pairs, really, and I've been looking for the dollar yen to have a pullback here. And that's exactly what we got. Last week, all week long, I was waiting for a sell signal, a break of a previous low, and we did not get it. We got a bounce here on Friday. That was actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, we came up and broke just barely above this high, just tested it. And then Tuesday with the CPI numbers, we got the move down. Now, I didn't start selling right away. I didn't actually start selling until it came up to here, and I started building into fading into a sell back to the previous day's low. So Monday's low was kind of my target entry to get in short. So I shorted it right around in there, that area. And then Thursday and Friday, we got the moves down. And so what am I doing right now? I'm holding on to these shorts. I've got my stops around those highs right in here. And if we can break some of these lows, then we should see lower prices. And I'm not sure how far it could come down. We could see it come all the way down to maybe the 140, this level right in here, these pivots, 145. So that's going to be my main target right there. And we'll see if we get that, with the weakness in the dollar. It could easily, with the carryover trade, just keep, rebounding here and keep going up. That's always a possibility, but I'm just banking on some dollar weakness into the end of the year here. So looking for selling continuing in the dollar yen. In the pound dollar, it's not as strong as the euro dollar, as we will see, but again, we got bigger movement than I was expecting. This previous week, I said, hey, we broke out of these pivots, and we're going to come down and test those pivots and possibly see higher prices. Well, we came down lower. We came all the way down to Friday's high, Friday's low two Fridays ago, where I said, if it breaks that, then we're going to be bearish. It held that amount, and we started to buy once it broke that trend line, once it made that nice up move there. And then we got a huge up move the next day, which I wasn't expecting. And so all my targets were pretty much hit on that day. And now it's just like, okay, well, it's going to pull back. Now we could probably see higher prices. If the dollar is going to weaken against the Japanese yen, we'll probably see more buying in the pound and the euro. The pound, as we'll see in a second, is much weaker than the euro. So let's go and check what the euro is doing. Again, you can see how closely related these guys are, but how the euro was holding its ground so much more. The same movement down that I mentioned when we broke these levels here didn't even come close to Friday's low. And then when it broke these levels so high that I'm like, you know what, it's not even going to come close to break, testing back down all the way down to there. It'll probably just come down a little bit, and then we'll see more movement to the upside. So where could this go now? Because my target after that this little movement was 0850, and now we're at 0900 pretty much. And so I think we might get to the 110. That's kind of my aggressive target on this one, getting up to these levels again, 110. and it could easily get there next week into the Thanksgiving holiday. It might not. I wasn't expecting that big of a day this week, but it happened. I was willing to wait about a week, week and a half, 2 weeks for that 108.50 to hit, and it happened the next day. So you never know how trading might work for you. So if you're not long already, wait for a break, pull back, and start building into those longs, and then keep your stops tight in case there's a big downward move. I was also looking for a sell signal here in the euro yen. We didn't get it right away, but we are starting to get it the next couple of days here. And today we had a nice sell, but it's testing back upwards, very similar to what the dollar yen already did. It had a break below and a test back up, and then another break. So the euro yen's lagging a little bit to that, but I fully expect the euro yen here to form a lower high and then possibly test back down to this 160 area. So about 300 pips back to the downside. And you can see my ADX is stochastic. ADX is starting to pull down, and stochastic starting to turn over. And so if we get that formation of a lower high and then another 3-bar reversal to the downside, make 160 your target. That's what I'm doing. So, and then trail your stops down. And the last of these markets that I was looking at, I mentioned let's get rid of these price cycle lines so we can actually see the chart, was the dollar Swiss franc. The dollar Swiss franc, I was comparing to the dollar yen, and we were saying the dollar yen come breaking above these previous highs, and then this pivot was a double top. And now we're seeing it start to sell, but you can see that the dollar Swiss franc has already formed these lower highs. So I've mentioned the last couple of weeks that if you want to sell the dollar, selling it against the Swiss franc is probably a better bet than selling it against the Japanese yen, right? Sell the weaker, buy the stronger. But in this case, taking a sell signal somewhere in here would have been very advantageous at this point, and it's breaking these previous lows. So where could this go? I think it could come down all the way down to here. If the Japanese yen is going to start showing some strength against the dollar, then the dollar might weaken in all these respects and come down to this maybe 86.50 or 8600 level. That's going to be the eye of the target for this downward movement. Now, it's not going to happen in one day, of course. It might come up and test back up, and there'll probably be opportunities to get back in. So watch for those old lows to be creating new highs. Old support becomes new resistance, and then see if we get moves to the downward levels here. So that's what I'm going to be looking for with these particular Forex pairs. Again, if you want me to look at any other pairs, be sure to email me or make a comment and let me know what pairs you'd like to take a look at, and I'll give you my 2 bits. But with all the markets that I'm trading, these are the main ones that I'm watching for. I'll scan through the other ones occasionally. If there's a good opportunity, we'll take them. And then I'll may even put those in the Discord if I see those otherwise other than this particular forecast. So I appreciate you joining me for this weekend to prepare for next week. I hope that you all have a great Thanksgiving. I won't talk to you until the end of next week. We'll prepare for this, the last part of November and early part of December. But I wish you all a great and happy Thanksgiving and a great trading week for next week. Okay, thanks so much and take care. And don't forget to like and subscribe.